Hey everybody, so today's message is on this little light of mine. Some of you may know the old song, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine," and it had the part, "Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine." Anyway, I won't sing the whole thing to you, but you get my point. You have to let your light shine. So Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So I was on my way home, a couple weeks ago, and the Lord spoke to me and taught me about the significance of streetlights. So there's several different, types of streetlights. There's the little spaced out ones on the country road, and then kind of whenever you get in the city, there's the ones that are a little bit taller and overhang a little bit more, and then you got some doubles, and then on the big highways you have the poles are like this big around, but they have a cluster of probably, honestly I hadn't even counted, maybe like 6 or 8, and they go all the way around, and they're super tall. And you also have like even the big stadium lights, like in football and stuff like that. And the higher the light, the more area it covers. Meaning, so if you have a flashlight and you just hold it right here, then the light that it's going to, okay, so straight light is collimated. And so if you just hold it right there, it's only going to have a little bitty spot. And the higher you bring it, the more area, the more surface area it's going to cover. And so the same is with the street lights. So if you have a couple on the old country road, which usually they don't even have any, that are very spaced out and they're just kind of low, maybe a little crooked, the area that they're going to cover isn't as significant as the big bundle that's up on, I-35 or 820 or wherever you are. So we are the same way with him. Jesus is the light, and he is also the life, L-I-F-E. And Jesus, like I said, Jesus is the light of the world. And people, they come outside and they're like, "Oh, what a beautiful day." Well, what makes it a beautiful day is the sun shining. And if we didn't have the sun, then we wouldn't have, all the flowers and the vegetation, and we wouldn't have any food. The animals wouldn't have, any food. The life is in the light. If the sun was completely gone, we would have no heat, and everything would be so dark, and we wouldn't be able to survive. Isaiah 60 verse 1, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee." Arise, shine, for the light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. It's risen just like the sun. And so for us, in relation to the street lights, the fellowship of the saints is critical. That's why, we have church. You don't have to go to church to go to heaven, but we are called to have fellowship and to be around like-minded people. And just as, you have a pack of water buffalo and you have, the lions waiting on the outside, well, the ones in the very middle aren't going to be the first ones to get picked off. It's going to be the stragglers on the outside who are straying away from the group. And the same is with us. The devil and all his demons are going to pick us off, and they try to separate us from the rest of the herd, from the rest of the group. And so you're able to also to shed more light on the situations and in the world, You are brighter together versus being just a little solo rocking street lights, out in the middle of nowhere. And I love the country, so I'm not, against being out in the sticks. I'm just saying the lights aren't bright. Daniel 12:3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, which is the heavens. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Psalms 119:35. Make thy face shine upon thy servant, and teach me thy statutes. So Moses was known as the man whose face shone from the glory of God. He would come down from the mountain, and the people would actually, sometimes be afraid of him because his face would literally shine from being in the presence and in the glory of God. 2 Corinthians 4:4. In whom the God of this world, which is the devil, little g God, not big G God, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So what that's saying is that we know that the world is full of darkness. Especially in all of this COVID stuff, that's been going on, this big pandemic with the everybody's finances and health and jobs, and everything is really just kind of taking a tumble. And it's our responsibility as Christians to be Christ-like and to let his light shine through us onto the darkness. And the more that we pour out, the more he'll pour in. And it's a cycle. But the devil has blinded those who don't believe and that they haven't heard the gospel of the peace. So, and I can firsthand attest to that. So I was in a lot of stupid stuff I really shouldn't have been. People, places, things, drugs, alcohol, you name it. Really anything I could get my hands on. And I had cleaned my life up. I was doing good for a couple years, but I still didn't have anything to do with him. And literally on my way home one day, I can take you to the exact spot on the bridge that out there where I was. And he spoke to me about loyalty. And it wasn't very, it was heavy. He said, you're worried about, it was Easter Sunday. And I was going to go to church, but I didn't just because I hadn't gone in years. The only reason I really wanted to go was because of my family. And he said, you're worried about coming to my house today? Where else has your loyalty been? What loyalty have you shown me? And literally in that split second, it was like somebody had pulled out a tape measure and just let it go. All in that very split second. And the Bible talks about being veiled and being blinded, and it was literally like God had pulled the veil off of my face and had removed the scales from my eyes, and I saw life in reality unlike anything I had ever seen, known, heard, tasted, smelled. God said, taste and see that I am good. If you have a bowl of lemons and a bowl of bananas, to somebody who's never had either one, they're both yellow, so as far as they know, they taste the same. So until you taste and see that he is good and let his light just shine through you and shake the darkness, your life will be transformed and you will see everything around you start to be transformed. So if you were to walk into somebody else's house and the lights are out, you wouldn't know where things are. So you're going to stumble and you're going to fall and you're going to get scraped up. And, if nothing else, you're going to be moving real slow and not doing what you need to be doing. But if you have a little light, or even, a big light, the living room light, but if you just have your light on your cell phone or a little candle or something, you're going to start to be able to see where the obstacles and the problems are, because they're going to be revealed to you because you're not blinded anymore. And he is the same way with this life that we live. The more that you let his light shine through you, the brighter it will get and the more area it will cover. And the more you'll quit stumbling and falling and backtracking, you know. And so, like, back to our analogy, if you have your light and you start to hold it up closer to Him, so the more intimate we are with Him in our relationship, which He craves from you, He craves from all of us to have such a deep, intimate relationship. And the closer we are to Him, just like the street lights and our flashlight, the more area that we cover, not only in our life, but we start to shine on into other people's lives as well. Not in a tacky, judgmental way, but it's the overflow, living in the overflow of the Holy Ghost. So let your light shine and grow closer to Him. And it is our responsibility to humbly and politely share the gospel. And to be completely honest with you, a lot of people don't want to hear about Jesus. But if you start to tell about what Jesus has done for you, and it's personal, and it's your own testimony and your own story, people are hungry for the word, and they're thirsting for righteousness. Jesus said the living water, and you'll never thirst again. And fountains of living water will flow through you, out of you. Rivers of living water. Matthew 13:43. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who has ears to hear, let him hear. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who has ears to hear, let him hear. Philippians 2:15. That ye may be blameless and harmless, sons of God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. We are called to be the lights of the world, and we are all sons and daughters of God. He doesn't have any grandchildren. Jesus was His only begotten Son, but we are all adopted into the family as His sons and daughters. So be a light in the world, and be a light in someone's life, not only today, but the continuation. And the rewards of leadership are phenomenal. Not necessarily, because it says Jesus is coming again and His reward is with Him. But the things that the Lord allows your heart and your eyes to see as His light shines on everybody, through you, through your hands, through your eyes and your mouth and your feet, to be shod with the gospel of peace in Ephesians 6, our armor of God. So let your light shine, and every time you think of a street light, just remember that you are chosen, you are called, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you are a light in this dark world. And Lord, I pray right now for everybody who watches this video. I know it's not by accident, but by divine appointment. And I pray your blessings upon them, and to open their minds to new levels and new opportunities to let your light shine through us. And help us not to miss opportunities with others, and also not to miss opportunities with you. Let your love and your light shine, my friends. In Jesus' mighty name. And have a blessed evening, and I'll talk to you all next time.